Welcome everyone to the Richmond Oval in British Columbia, Canada. We are wrapping up the second day of the 2024 Canada Cup of Wheelchair Rugby, and we've got another great matchup to end off the day, the final session here at the Richmond Oval. It is world number 3 Japan versus world number 2 Australia. My name is Wilson Wong here with Adam Frost. He will be our expert analyst here as we get set for these two teams. Japan will be in red, Australia will be in yellow, and we are just about set for the opening here between these two teams. And Adam, what kind of matchup are you expecting here? Are you kind of anticipating as Japan scores?
Well, as you mentioned, this is the battle of the Asia Oceania top two teams, and you know, both teams run similar styles. Both teams have a very good high-low lineup, and you'll see Japan run a high screen, which is where they inbound the ball to number 121 Ike, who looks to pass the ball deep. Whereas Australia, you'll see they tend to do what we call more of a ground game, where they try and get the ball into the hands of one of their top players, and he'll try and wheel it up the court.
So both teams have gotten on the scoreboard here, and Japan will take the lead as Ikazaki will bring the ball over the line for a try.
Both teams starting not unusual lineups, but probably not the lineups they've been starting the rest of the tournament. Australia's been starting its high-low with Chris Bond and Riley, of course, and Japan has been starting its high-low as well. So both teams are running, Australia's running a balanced lineup, 3-2-5.5, and Japan's running a 3-2-2, 3-3-2-0 lineup, which is a bit of a hybrid.
Ikazaki going in to score for Japan. 3-2 for the team in red. On the floor for Japan, Kurahashi, Ikazaki, Nakamachi, and Ike. On the floor for Australia, you have Bat wearing number 3, Vernon, Graham, and Edmondson. Bat with possession of the ball, as you will often find with Australia, and the play is stopped. 20 seconds on the possession clock, and it will be Japan star Ikazaki going to the penalty area. He will sit out, and Australia will wait to set up its defensive lineman for the next play, while Bat will take the ball to the line and wait for everything to be set up for the next play before bringing it over. Ikazaki quickly putting the ball back into play for Nakamachi. Back to Ikazaki. Slowed down there by Edmondson. And then Vernon in as well, but the Japanese doing a great job of moving the ball around the court before the play is finally finished off by Nakamachi.
Yeah, a nice defensive effort there, I thought, by Edmondson. He was able to stop Ikazaki's momentum by making contact in the wheel and yet not committing a foul. So tough to do, so good job by him.
And the first turnover of the game as Graham looked like she had the ball knocked away from her. I think she was trying to find Riley Bat, but instead it's Ike causing havoc down on the Australian side of the half.
Yeah, an unfortunate pass by Graham. She was obviously trying to get the ball into Riley's hands, and just came out a little bit too challenging for him to handle.
And also was caught at the sideline, so not a lot of options for her space-wise.
It's like a 4 in the key foul here by one of the Australian players. Bo Vernon making his way to the penalty box.
And Vernon is one of the top 0.5 players in the world, someone who's got a big impact on this Australian roster.
Yeah, I had a very good game this morning in the game against GB, I thought.
Ikazaki brings the ball across the line. Vernon will inbound for Australia. And Vernon into play, and it's Bond. Has the ball knocked away, it's Ikazaki getting a turnover, and very quickly the Japanese convert there as Nakamachi scores for the team in red.
Yeah,
6-3.
Nice defensive pressure there by Ikazaki to get his hands up and block that pass by Bond.
Bat trying to answer here for Australia, and he powers his way through for a try. Ike now for Nakamachi.
Nice speed there shown by Nakamachi. He's able to outwheel Riley Bat, which isn't an easy thing to do for a Class 2.
7-4 for Japan. Bond corralling the ball just behind him. And now try to find some room and builds up some speed, and he is able to score without much trouble.
Yeah, once Chris Bond and Riley Bat get the ball in a little bit of space, so tough to stop them. When you want to get their chair stopped and get them passing the ball if you can.
And make it more of a stop and start type of pace.
Well, even stop and start. You know, they've got so much power, these guys, that they can do that very well. It's, you know, when if you want them stopped and looking to pass is really what you want.
Well, just over halfway done here in this opening quarter, and Japan leads 8-5 over Australia. Bat. Law pass towards center and intercepted by Japan. It's once again Nakamachi. His pass, though, blocked by Bond, and loose ball at the sideline. Out of bounds, and it will be possession to Australia.
Yeah, nice job by Nakamachi to kind of gather that loose ball after the errant pass, but fortunately for Australia, they were able to get the ball back and have 34 seconds on the try clock to try and make this a 2-try game.
And Ikazaki is the Japanese player trying to corral that loose ball in the play, and he was knocked down on the sideline. Bat now for Australia. Troubled there at his own center line. Finds Bond with a pass. Bond going down the right side past Ikazaki. Now across the paint and goes in for the score. Nakamachi back into play. Ike. Nakamachi, huge collision on the Japanese side of half, but it's Ikazaki getting the ball and going past Vernon.
Yeah, nice pass by Nakamachi there. He was able to put the right amount of weight on it, so it didn't go over the head of Ikazaki as he was absorbing the hit from Bond, which is tough to keep your weight, center of gravity in the right spot when you're taking a hit and extend it forward like that.
Riley Bat cut off there and having to curl back towards center. Regrouping with Bond. Bat going to his right and squeezing through. Riley Bat makes it 9-7. His team down by 2 points.
Yeah, a big hole for him to get through there, and tough to stop when that happens.
Ike with possession for Japan. Kurahashi sets a pick for him. And then up ahead for Nakamachi. And cutting back towards his right and scoring is Nakamachi.
Yeah, nice job again by Nakamachi. He seems to have taken a step since last time I saw him play. He seems to have gone from sort of being the second Class 2 off the bench for Team Japan to the first Class 2 off the bench. So they've obviously seen some improvement for him as well.
And this Japanese team, in your opinion, is probably the deepest in terms of the top of the roster down to the bottom.
Well, they've certainly got 4 high pointers that no other team in this tournament can match. And as we discussed the other day, their lower pointers have gotten much better over the years, which makes this a really balanced team.
11-8 Japan leads, and foul called just in front of the Australia line. And it will be a foul against Japan. Nakamachi in the penalty area. Bat up to Bond. He'll ease his way through and take some time off the clock.
Yeah, Australia trying to keep EK away from the inbounder, so it's not a gimme. So transition here while they have the man advantage.
Nakamachi. Lob pass to the sideline, and it's EK catching the ball and doing a nice job of getting out of trouble. Ikazaki quickly up ahead to Nakamachi, and free and clear for the try. Japan ahead 12-9.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages there to this 3-3-2.5 lineup. Even when they do transition EK away from the inbounder, like they did there, they've still got a Class 2 who's got the range to get him the ball. Whereas if that was one of the lower pointers, the 1s or the .5s, that wouldn't have been so easy.
Bond has the ball and eventually will record the try. EK doing a nice job of controlling that ball with one hand. Ikazaki working against Bond, and he will find his way for a try. You hear some of the Japanese subs right beside us shouting their encouragement. They wanted their teammates to deny the entry pass or the inbounds pass. Bat, though, finds himself with possession. Just getting over the center line in time. And then now the pass back from Bond. Giving instructions to one of his teammates to pick off a Japanese player.
10 seconds on the try clock here.
Penalty try for Australia. Ikazaki nearly knocked off balance. Quick lob pass down the floor and a beautiful catch there by Nakamachi, and he will take the ball across the line for another try. Kind of response Australia will have here. Bat, one dribble and peels back around towards center. Runs into a defender, Ike. 18 on the possession clock. Bat needing to get rid of the ball here. A real lot of trouble. Still towards the center line. 6 on the possession clock. And timeout called by Riley Bat.
Yeah, so good defense there by Team Japan. Not that Australia was trying hard to score, but you notice how when they had Riley tied up, both Japanese defenders were keeping their hands on their wheels, aware of the situation and not giving Australia a reset on a free reset on the try clock plus a person in the penalty box.
Ball into Vernon. Now Bond. And the Japanese will push him over the line for 14-12 score. Japan still in front. And just in front of us here, Japanese player knocked off balance.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but Shimakawa is lying on his back in the middle of the court. 5.5 seconds here for Japan to try and see if they can score a last goal. They'll want to look to see if they can get the ball over top of one of these Australian defenders and attack with the speed that they have on court.
Also on the floor, Hashimoto and Hasegawa. Ball worked towards the end line, and no score there for Japan as Shimakawa eventually caught the ball, but time had run out.
Yeah, tough to score with 5.5 seconds to go. Close try, nice job though, to get that pass in there wasn't a lot of space.
So after a quarter of play, an exciting matchup here between Australia and Japan. It is Japan ahead by 2 tries, 14-12. You're watching live Canada Cup Wheelchair Rugby Tournament action from Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, the Richmond Oval. Home, of course, to many great editions of this Canada Cup tournament, and has become a really familiar home for a lot of players in this sport. And certainly, I think one of the more pleasant places to visit every couple of years for wheelchair rugby players.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. Hotel is nice and close by. Airport's nice and close by. And of course, BC Wheelchair Sports and Wheelchair Rugby Canada do a good job of hosting all of the nations. So,
and we'll thank some of our other sponsors here during this break, as you talked about, BC Wheelchair Sports, Wheelchair Rugby Canada, the hosts of this event, and sanctioned by World Wheelchair Rugby. Supporters and sponsors: the Government of Canada, the Government of British Columbia, the Richmond Olympic Oval, Steamworks Brewing, Vesco, Richmond Sport Hosting, and Moulton. For those of you who are local, we encourage you to come to this event and cheer on some of the teams in person and catch the action in person. It's been really competitive, as we've got the 6 top teams in the world here, and it has been exciting action. It will provide, of course, a preview to the Paralympics coming up in Paris later this summer. And we encourage you to come down. There's a silent auction here as well, so you can win some great prizes. So
just don't bid on the bottle of scotch. That is mine.
We are just over halfway through this tournament, and tomorrow there's another set of games, 5 games on tomorrow, and then the 3 placement games on Sunday, finishing with the 4 p.m. gold medal game here on Court 1.
And the way this tournament's going, we don't know who's going to be playing in that game. A lot of these teams are having great tournaments so far, and it'll be interesting to see how they match up in the crossovers and who actually makes it into those games.
On the court for Australia, it's Bond and Bat. You might expect for most of the floor time here. And then on for Australia as well, you've got Vernon and James O'Quillan wearing number 5. On the floor for Japan, you've got Hasegawa, Hashimoto, Shimakawa, and over on the far side, Ogawa, the one-pointer who will inbound for Japan. Team that leads by 1, 14-13. Hashimoto. And play is stopped as Shimakawa knocked Vernon off balance and onto his back.
Yeah, that should probably just be a reset for Team Japan here on the try clock for the fallen Australian player. No penalty, certainly, for either team on that.
Australia will bring on a couple of new players back on the court. It's Edmondson and Ella Sabeljack, newly into this game. She's wearing number 1. Japan will reset here after the inbounds. Hashimoto in for the score.
Yeah, big hole opened up for him there in between the middle player and the corner player, so he's able to drive through there no problem. Nice attack by Team Japan.
Bond now really powering his way through the Japanese defense and getting another try on the board for his team. Hashimoto getting the inbounds pass from Ogawa quickly out in front to Shimakawa, and he'll have no trouble scoring for Japan.
Yeah, with Riley off the court, Australia really just wants to remain even with this lineup and try not to go into too much of a deficit.
Edmondson, control of the ball. Pass ahead for Bond. Might have been a broken play there, but Bond able to retrieve the ball for Australia.
Yeah, it looked like maybe that pass was going to Sabeljack,
yeah.
But, put the ball into open space, and the player was able to reel onto it first.
It's always good where your best player is able to get some space. Australia converting on their last possession. We're down by 1. Hashimoto with Bond in front of him, controlling the pace and scoring there for Team Japan.
Yeah, zigzagging up the court, kind of keeping Chris guessing which way he was going to go. And it's a one-on-one shadow, and that one goes to the offensive player.
Now Bond the other way. His answer there, another try for the Aussies. 17-16, in a close game between these two rivals. Japan looking to push its lead back up to 2. Hashimoto. Going to his left. Will reset. Will try his hand down the center, and down the middle of the court, he is able to score.
Yeah, another hole there opened up for him, this time on the other side of center. Zip through there pretty easy.
Bond at center, working against Hashimoto, as well as Shimakawa. Really providing the offensive focus here for Australia, as that is another try.
Yeah, barely a try from the looks of things. He must have got a piece of that cone as the referee is putting it back into its spot.
Japanese inbounds pass tipped away, but eventually controlled by Hashimoto. He'll have to throw the ball towards center. Shimakawa has to call a timeout. Great job there by Sabeljack to put him in a bad position.
Yeah, not a lot of time to get the ball over half, and the outlet was covered down the court, so good decision there by Shimakawa to try not to force that ball into a precarious spot. And Australia uses its first timeout of the game.
And Australia is ready here on defense. Hashimoto quickly towards the key. Can't get penetration. You have to find room on his right, and he just squeezes through for a try. Big collision on the inbounds pass, Edmondson and Hashimoto. Edmondson looking to get rid of the ball, but can't. He's forced to call a timeout.
Yeah, nice aggressive defense there by Hashimoto. Stopped Edmondson, got around him, got back on top of him again, stopped him again. Nice decision by Edmondson to take the timeout there, similar to what we were just talking about Shimakawa there, not throw the ball away if he doesn't have to. Second timeout called by Team Australia.
And Hashimoto was excited when they called the timeout, and then as he wheeled off the floor, had a nice big smile there.
There's no having fun in wheelchair rugby.
What part was the most fun for you as a player?
Oh my gosh, putting me on the spot. A lot of things, as always loved sport my whole life, before and after my disability, and just getting on the court and working with your teammates and playing against the other teams, right? One of the things I loved about rugby is you would go out there and you play hard against the other team and not like them on the court, and then have a beer with them after the game's over. So I always enjoyed that part of the game.
2 seconds left for Australia in the possession, and they have run out of time. Or have they?
I think they're calling timeout after the fact. And it doesn't look like either referee is going to give it to them. So just a little bit of focus there on lots of focus on how much time was left in the quarter. So certainly lack of focus by me, because you had me thinking about having beers after games. So. Well,
Bond was signaling as if he had called timeout, but I think that was pretty clear it came afterwards, or at least after the clock had sounded. So Japan will look to take advantage. Ikazaki into the scoring area and making it 20-17 for Japan.
Yeah, nice pick by the low pointer there, Wakayama, to help Daisuke get the ball over the half.
And Bond lost possession of the ball, but great recovery by Sablejack, and eventually it's Edmondson. And back to Bond, who will look to settle things down here. Bond cut off there at the pass, will try again and able to score.
Yeah, good patience by him to wait for that hole to open up, and able to wheel between Ike and Ikazaki.
And there is Ikazaki, Japan's number 7. Hit from behind, but able to get in for the try.
Yeah, nice talking to his low pointer as they moved up the court together. It's much more effective when the low pointer is able to keep moving and you're able to work together to beat the other team's defense.
Bond over to Sablejack. Sablejack down the floor for Vernon. Nice pickup for Vernon on the try.
Yeah, he's had a pretty solid tournament so far, Vernon, for Australia.
Ikazaki. Quick outlet pass, and Japanese score as designed there. Wakayama wearing the number 1 jersey for Japan, making it look pretty easy on that play. Now the Australians will look to do something similar, and it's Sablejack scoring the try.
Good job by her. That pass was a little behind, so she's able to adjust her pace and reach back and secure that ball.
Ikazaki. 2:50 to go in the half. Ikazaki wheeling to his left and eventually getting through the defense of Australia. Sablejack now will inbound with her team down 23-20. 2:40 to go in the half. Edmondson has the ball knocked away. Controlled by Bond, and a quick outlet pass for Sablejack, and once again she is on the end of a nice pass and able to take the ball through for a try.
Yeah, nice vision there by Chris Bond to see that she had leaked deep, and nice job scoring that try.
Australia down 23-21. Ike holding the ball high over his head. Pass intended for Ikazaki, who knocks the loose ball away from Sabeljack and is able to recover and take the ball through for a try.
Yeah, she was almost able to intercept that ball. I think Ike maybe have intended it to throw it a little deeper initially, but
I think Sabeljack put herself in a good position to try to cause that turnover. Yeah. But she is forced to call timeout on that last inbound.
Yeah, nice deny defense by Team Japan, forcing that timeout, and that's the third timeout of this game for Australia, so they're down to 1.
Hasegawa now on as a sub again for Japan, along with Norimatsu. Bat hit in the backcourt, turned around in the backcourt. Great job there by Norimatsu. And Bat throws the ball towards center, and it wouldn't have counted anyway had a teammate gotten to the end of it. It's a violation for Australia.
Yeah, so after the ball's inbounded and it's touched by the team on offense, you do have 12 seconds to get the ball over half. The ball has to hit the court on the far side of half. It can't be in the air. So 12-second violation obviously there on Team Australia, and Japan has the opportunity to go up by 4 tries here.
Ike at the sideline, pass to Ikazaki, and he scores with ease. Now Japan up 25-21, taking advantage of that turnover. Bat weaving his way through the Japanese defense, finally stopped at the basketball foul line on the court. Bat turned away there by Hasegawa.
15 seconds on the try clock.
Bat finds just a little bit of room and powers his way through the gap. Ike to Ikazaki. Looking to get a pick there from Hasegawa. And now a foul on Bat.
Yeah, quick move there by Daisuke to try to go to the left of Bat, and obviously knew he was beat, so tried to check the ball off his lap, and probably got a little bit more body than ball, so in the box he goes. Give Japan an opportunity to manage the clock here, and they're going to score quickly, it looks like.
Ikazaki through with 55.5 seconds remaining in the half. Riley Bat will inbound for Australia. Bond back to Bat. Halted there in the backcourt, but able to find his way across the line. Bat up the sideline. Going to his left. Will patiently curl back. Now over on the left side. And looks like Bond will knock a Japanese player across the line.
Yeah, and Riley had turned away from the goal line, so it's not a penalty try. So Ikazaki will have to spend a minute or less in the penalty box, which will give Australia the opportunity to score a last try here if they decide to. Trailing by 4 with 30 seconds to go. Japan does have possession arrow, so it will be their ball to start the third. So Australia is going to keep the game close here by scoring last try.
And timed just about perfectly. Bat crossing the line with 0.2 seconds to go in the half, and Japan will inbound to finish off the first half one where they built a 26-23 lead over Australia. Very impressive half for the Japanese team.
Yeah, good job by both teams, and quick game and lots of speed. And I think that at the end of the day, the depth of Japan is just showing through a little bit. Obviously Australia is making sure that they're playing a variety of lineups, and both teams are. And when Riley comes off the court, the Japanese lines are just a little bit stronger top to bottom, and they were able to take advantage of a couple of Australia's developing lines.
We're going to come back in a few minutes with third quarter action here once again at the half of the Canada Cup 2024. It is Australia trailing 26-23 against Japan. And we are set for second half action here at the Canada Cup of Wheelchair Rugby. You're watching Japan versus Australia here on CBC Sports and on the BC Wheelchair Sports Association YouTube page. My name is Wilson Wong here with Adam Frost, and we've got Japan in front 26-23 and with the opening possession of the second half. Hashimoto for Japan. Team in red. Australia is in yellow with green lettering and trim. Hashimoto not finding a lot of room there. And now pass across for an open teammate, Norimatsu, and he is able to bring the ball over for a try.
Yeah, lots of space for him over there in that far corner. Good job by Hashimoto to get the ball to him.
And Australia replying with an Edmondson try.
Yeah, there's a quick strike.
27-24. Hashimoto, lots of contact on his way up the floor. And now pinned near the center line, able to wheel out of some trouble. Another pass across. Nicely executed. This time Ike taking the ball through for the score. Pass into Vernon from Edmondson, back to Australia. This time it's Bat. Getting the ball across center, intercepted by Hashimoto. Turnover for Australia. And Japan looking to take advantage here and build a 5-try lead, and they will, as Ike will get over the line. It's 29-24 for Japan.
Yeah, a nice turnover there by the Japanese defense, created by the Japanese defense. Seiya there doing a great job of stopping Riley's momentum and forcing him to pass that ball. And
now Australia, calling a timeout, as well as looked like it was Vernon in some trouble in his own end.
Yeah, so force the inbound into the hands of the low pointer, unable to get the ball back to one of his ball carriers, and forced to use Australia's last timeout. Don't want to give up another turnover or be down by 6 tries and start to get pretty unlikely that you're going to come back at that point.
Edmondson on the assist from Bat. Brings his team to within 4 points, 29-25. Ike. High lob pass down the floor for Hashimoto. He picks it up in the corner, and a timeout, as it looked like he was caught in a very small space there in the corner.
Yeah, he tried to control Nicholson's chair before he went after the ball, but because of the distance on the pass, the ball moved much too close to the corner for him to be able to do anything positive with it after he received it.
They will instead look to take advantage after that timeout and after regrouping. Hashimoto. Cross into the middle. Ike.
Yeah, nice pump fake there to back Riley off, and then able to put the ball into his into the pocket on his lap and push through the goal at the try line.
Edmondson into Bat. Bat intended for Edmondson, able to corral that loose ball back to Bat.
Yeah, nice defensive pressure again there by Norimatsu. Riley unable to wheel around him, and ultimately they were able to convert on that long pass, but it certainly was close to being intercepted. And
now they get a turnover. Edmondson and Bat both with big roles in that turnover, and then Bat taking the ball in for the score.
Yeah, nice job by Australia to get one back here. Positive play for them, and see if they can build on another one.
30-27 for Japan, and Ike finding Hashimoto with the pass. And Hashimoto restores the 4-point lead for the Japanese team.
Deny going on for Japan against Australia, see if they can keep the ball out. But Riley's just too quick.
Bat in a collision with Norimatsu. And then finds Edmondson with the pass. Intercepted by Ike and stopped, but Edmondson turning back around and getting into the in-goal area, 31-28 for Japan.
Nice high screen there by Team Japan, and Seiya Norimatsu getting the assist as he did a good job with a moving screen against Riley to free up Hashimoto.
Now Australia looks like they'll have an equipment timeout.
Yeah, bit of a fortunate equipment timeout as Australia's starting possession quite a ways away from the ball, and they're having to work really hard to get into the inbounders' range.
And it's Vernon's chair that needs some TLC from the equipment staff. All set to go. And Australia looking to inbound the ball. And it's intercepted by Japan. Hashimoto getting the turnover. And back up towards the middle, it's Ike.
Yeah, that ball looked like it slipped a little bit when it came out of the inbounder Edmondson's hand, so didn't quite get it out as hard as he wanted to. But once again, you know, Japan is keeping Riley and the rest of the Australian players away from the inbounder and struggling to get the ball in.
And finally, Japan able to score there on the pass across to Ike. Bat working hard, trying to power his way up the floor, being chased by Norimatsu, and Bat able to score. 4:06 to go in what has been a very fast period here.
Feels like it's been a fast game. The first quarter seemed to go by really quickly, in my opinion, as well.
Add another one on the scoreboard for Japan. It's Hashimoto with another try. Edmondson, Bat up the sideline, getting past two Japanese defenders, and then will throw the ball over to his left. Edmondson collecting the pass and scoring for Australia.
Yeah, nice teamwork there by Australia to work together to get that ball up the court.
Hashimoto. Quick pass down low, and it's Norimatsu, making it 35-30 for Team Japan. Pass into play, and it's Riley Bat, the highest up Australian, then throws the ball behind his back. Edmondson trying to wheel onto it, and Edmondson just in front of the Japanese player Norimatsu, and he will score the try for Australia.
Riley obviously watching Zach in the last game and copying some of his moves.
And not listening to your coach's concern about that type of play.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be listening to the commentary. Know better, but apparently not.
So some new players on the floor for both squads. For Team Japan on the floor right now, Shimakawa. And now in getting the pass, Hashimoto. Asagawa and Ogawa on the court for Japan. And for Australia, looks like that's Warren, newly into the game, along with Bond, Jake Howe, and McQuillan. Japan ahead 36-30. We'll see what this Australian lineup can do here to cut the deficit. Bond. One dribble after getting stopped and pass across. Howe just can't get control of the ball.
Yeah, a tough pass there for Howe to pick up from Chris Bond. I think Australia is just losing a little bit of focus here and not quite as crisp as they could be.
Bond nearly intercepting the inbounds pass, but once again Japan able to make the most of it as they will score Hashimoto, putting his team up 37-31. Howe in for Warren. Warren cross to Bond. Bond trying to outmaneuver his defender and does. Bond now up ahead. It's Warren for the try. Bond showing off his power and agility there.
Yeah, able to get around Shimakawa, who takes a bit of a pop in the back wheel as Chris wheels around him, gets him out of his chair.
We'll go out with the inbound pass. Shimakawa. Quick outlet pass for Hashimoto. And Hashimoto will curl back out towards the center.
Looks like Jaden Warren wheeled through the try line, and he's going to have to go to the penalty box, which will give a reset to Team Japan and a man advantage.
Did he believe that the try had already been scored, or?
I was watching the transition of the two low pointers in the other end, so I didn't see if he just sort of, if he did it on purpose or was just sort of not quite as focused as he could have been.
Hashimoto for Japan. There was also two players, I believe their chairs were kind of pinned together at center as well, providing some more distraction. But Japan scoring on that play, and now Warren will come back onto the floor. He will also act as the inbounder. McQuillan gives the ball back to him. Now lob pass for Bond, and Bond easily get past the Japanese defense. Team Japan, though, still with a pretty comfortable lead as we come down to the final minute, 28 of the third period, 38-33, and now Japan will run its offensive set here, as according to their strategy with this late time period in the quarter.
Yeah, managing the clock, try to do their best to score last goal. Should be Australia's ball to start the fourth quarter.
Hashimoto across, and Shimakawa finally finishes off the play. 39 tries for Japan, 33 for Australia. Shimakawa delivering a hard collision there to McQuillan. Warren, three-pointer for Australia, across to Bond. Looking to get some help from his teammates to create some space. Bond. Finally gets some room on that left side. There's 21.3 seconds to go in the third period. Japan entering the ball back into play quickly. Shimakawa. 13 seconds on the clock. Shimakawa, one bounce. Up the middle against Bond. Bond able to slow him down, and then play is stopped.
Yeah, Jake Howell wheeled through the try line. Looks like he was trying to draw a penalty try, but Shimakawa was not attempting to score. So instead, it will be a penalty, and Japan will have to inbound the ball here with 6 seconds to go.
And with 3 subs on, Kurahashi, Haga, and Ike. Ike, Shimakawa. And Japan can't get the ball through for a score, but they will take a pretty comfortable 39-34 lead into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just not quite on the same page there for that last try. And it's the danger of trying to be too fine and get the clock down to 0 too much, you know. If you can't, you know, if you're scoring under 6 seconds and you can't defend your goal, against the other team's offense, I hate to see that. You know, if I'd rather just see Shimakawa keep moving towards the goal, score the try, and then worry about defending your try line. But nonetheless, 5-try lead for Team Japan. I'm sure they're not going to be too worried about that one mistake.
Coming up tomorrow here at the Canada Cup, we will open with 2 games at 11 a.m. local time, Pacific time, here at the Richmond Olympic Oval. It will be Japan, this team we're watching right now, against the host team Canada, and Great Britain will play France. And over on the other court, it looks like it is the United States ahead of Great Britain, 30-27, with 4:44 to go in the third period. The Brits held a small lead. I believe it was 1 point at the half, so the U.S. with a strong third quarter. Also on tap for tomorrow, the USA and Australia will play at 2 p.m. local time before the day wraps up with Canada versus Great Britain and France versus Japan at 5 p.m.
Yeah, that France-Japan game looked like might be a battle for first place the way these teams are playing right now. So last game of the tournament, or last 2 games of the tournament could be a battle for top spots, and that Canada GB game could be very important for both teams as well, as they're trying to get into that secure a spot to play in a crossover to get into a medal game.
And on Sunday, we will have 3 games to cap off the Canada Cup. 6th place game will take place at 10 a.m. At 1 p.m. it will be the bronze medal game, and then the gold medal will be determined at 4 p.m. local time as we wrap up what has been a great tournament involving the top 6 teams in the world, all of which you'll see at the Paralympic Games in Paris. Warren for Australia will get us started off in the 4th and final quarter. Cross to Riley Bat. Working against Ikazaki. And then inside to Warren, who will score for Australia. 39-35. The Japanese still in front. Ike. Cross to Ikazaki.
Ikazaki directing traffic. Pump fakes his way through to the try line.
Makes it a 40-35 game, and Australia look to respond here as Bat at center. Warren. Warren towards the right cone. Then back towards the middle, and then finally wheeling through on the right side.
Yeah, nice job there by Jidden to find some space and score the try for Australia. You know, regardless of the score in the game, there's always something to work on for next game. So
Ikazaki. One last Little collision at the goal line, but a score there for Japan's number 7. Warren gets a pick there from his teammate Howe, and tacking one on for Australia.
Yeah, back-to-back tries there for Jaden Warren. Nice defense by Australia, but ball does come in.
Ikazaki doing a good job of recovering the ball, but his pass tipped by Warren. You see on the replay there. And then recovered by Ike on the sideline.
Yeah, nice timeout by Japan. They still have one more to go. And, you know, if Australia is able to create another turnover, and it's 3 with 6 minutes to go, and maybe we have ourselves an interesting finish.
Japan makes 2 substitutions. So on the floor right now is Hasegawa, Ikazaki, Ike, and making the inbound passes Norimatsu. Ikazaki. Bat trying to stop him, but he will just defer and hand the ball off to Ike.
Yeah, nice key attack there by Team Japan, taking advantage of Ike's size in the key, wheel position.
And Bat on the sideline just in front of the Australian bench. His momentum is halted and now trapped by 3 players. Finds Warren cutting towards the scoring area, and he will make no mistake there. 42-38, Australia down by 4.
Yeah, nice chair control by Riley to keep in bounds there. It's hard to see exactly where the sideline is from here as the score cable's in the way, but looked like he was pretty close.
And Ikazaki now on the other end, wasting some more time. He scores. The assist going to Ike, who has shown off his ability to pass here, and he's often holding the ball above his head and making passes that not a lot of players seem to be able to do in the sport. That play, Japan will knock the ball away.
It looked like the referee pointed like it was Australia's ball. So if that's true, it must have last touched one of the Australian players before it went out.
So that will allow Australia to make some more changes.
Yeah, Brad making sure everybody gets some playing time. Once again, managing minutes and making sure that everybody's good when we get into the not more important games, but the importance of the final day.
That's Foxley Connolly on for Australia along with Emily Miller. Bond, the main offensive player for Australia, along with the 4th player, Jake Howe. Bond and Foxley Connolly, the 2 high pointers on the floor for Australia. And the 2 connect on that play with Foxley Connolly scoring for the Aussies. 44-39 is the score. Japan up by 5 tries. Ike. Ikazaki. At center, working against Bond. Ikazaki rolls through and scores for Japan.
Yeah, nice speed by Ikazaki to beat Bond up the sidelines there and then eventually score the try.
And as we've talked about for Team Japan, even if they wanted to rest their top high point players, they're able to bring some very good subs off the bench, and not a lot of difference necessarily in that lineup, as Australia is able to move the ball down, and it's Howe doing a great job of making that catch, leaning backwards
Yeah, nice job by Hal there. And you're right with the Australian or Japanese high pointers, some different, and they bring different strengths as well. You've got some size, some speed, some agility, power.
And Japan calling a bench timeout, I believe, to get some more subs in. Hashimoto and Ogawa and Shimakawa also on.
Yeah, I think that's the first bench timeout by either team in this game. So coaches still have that in their back pocket if they want to continue to manage their benches and get some different players court time.
Bond in the backcourt, Foxley Connolly. The youngster wheels up the floor. And a pass for Bond.
Yeah, nice job by Foxley Connolly there to control that ball and turn up the sidelines against Shimakawa and then find Bond deep for the try.
Bond definitely made that look pretty easy, but that was quite a lot of space he had to cover. Now Bond delivers a hit in the backcourt, but great pass down to Shimakawa. And he will score, but Hashimoto able to pass his way over the Australian defense. Foxley Connolly. Quick outlet for Bond. We'll see if he can get to the ball once again, and he does. And a foul against Japan. That's a penalty try for
Australia. Yeah, Australia. But at that point, it doesn't make much difference. It's going to be a try no matter what. Nice speed by Hashimoto there against Foxley Connolly.
So Howe gets the ball into play for Australia. Foxley Connolly out to Bond. And then back to Foxley Connolly. And that is try number 43 for Australia. The Aussies down by 5. 2:48 to go in the fourth quarter. We talked about this game going fast. Over on the other side, they're still in the final 3 minutes of the third quarter.
I think that is the third quarter. Or that's the quarter time.
Ah, gotcha. That's why everyone was telling me I'm wrong.
Not wrong, just different set of facts. So 2:35 to go in this game. Game doesn't seem to have been in doubt for the last few minutes now. Both teams making lots of subs. Getting that all-important court time for some of their developing players. Pay dividends down the road.
Well, Foxley Connolly and Bond have been very effective offensively as Bond scores for Australia. Miller on the floor with Howe for Australia. And subs for Japan also coming up. Shimakawa scoring for the Japanese. Bond, Foxley Connolly. Turning around to see if some of his teammates can create some space for him. Over to Bond. Ooh, he can't get control of the ball then. He's knocked on his back.
Hopefully he's okay. It looked like he went down pretty hard. Bit of a high pass for him to pick up there by Foxley Connolly.
Thought I saw a smile there talking to one of his Japanese opponents, so I think he's okay.
Excellent.
But certainly it came in heavy traffic as well.
Yeah.
Seems ready to go, so the Australians will inbound.
Yeah, with the man advantage. Must have been a penalty against Shimakawa on that hit, so maybe finished him off a little bit, which is a no-no in wheelchair rugby.
And Foxley Connolly. Japan calling a bench timeout.
Yeah, I think they just want to get Shimakawa out of the trap in the penalty box here. They got it, so might as well use it. Or they're going to make subs.
Oh, Ikazaki in for Shimakawa. Ikazaki. It's Foxley Connolly and Bond. Still not stopped, and he will score for Japan.
Yeah, nice speed there by Japanese Class 3 to get past the 2 Australian defenders.
And he took hits from the 2 3.5s for Australia, including Foxley Connolly, who has the ball now. Hits Ikazaki from behind, then he'll have to pass across. Bond back to Foxley Connolly. Lots of time here for Australia in the possession. 17 to go. Foxley Connolly, 1:05 on the clock as he scores. Australia down 51-46. Japan will run out the clock here. In this one, they will clinch a victory over Australia as the pass is thrown down the court for Nakamachi.
Yeah, Japan will go to 3-0 after this game, which will make them in first place after day 2, and certainly a favorite now to play in the final on Sunday. Against who? We're not sure yet, but France and USA look like to be likely candidates, although France does have the edge in the head-to-head match up there.
Ikazaki, outlet pass for Haga, and he will get on the scoreboard for Japan. Just over a half minute left in the fourth quarter. Foxley Connolly trying to wheel his way up the floor. Being checked by Ikazaki. Foxley Connolly has his pass intercepted by Haga. That's Ikazaki. I believe the Japanese will just try for one last score here. And it will come with 2.4 seconds to go. 54 for Japan and 47 for Australia. Aussies have the pass intercepted, and Ikazaki caps off the game with one final try to make it 55-47.
Yeah, good job by Team Japan there. I was thinking to myself, one of the things about our sport is how that, there's 2 seconds left in the game. You're up by 6 or 8 or whatever the case may be, and nobody gets angry when you're running up the score more. Other sports, that's certainly a no-no in the culture, but in our sport, every team seems to do it to everybody else, so nobody seems to care.
Pretty comprehensive win by the Japanese over the Australians.
Yeah, Team Japan, certainly played a great game. I think their depth kind of shone through. Team Australia certainly got some different looks out there and maybe some developing lineups earlier on in the game. And as the game wore on, I think that the game became less in doubt and Australia became a little bit less focused and made a couple more errors. And, the game slowly got away from them.
But no hurt feelings on the last couple of plays there, as you talked about. Yeah. Once again, Japan able to clinch the victory 55-47 over Australia. We encourage you to check out the end of the other game on the webcast, as Great Britain and the USA are in the final quarter. But for this match here, we are done for the day. Once again, Japan, congratulations to them 55-47 winners over Australia.